What's going on, guys? It's Justice here and welcome to the Ark. This video will take you through what I did to get started at the Ark, which is a brand new update to reach the game of Runescape. It will also go through my first impressions of this expansion to the game. The first thing you want to do is to complete the mini quest if you haven't already, called Impressing the Locals. You need to talk to Stan at Port Sarim, and I'll leave a wiki guide in the description for that below. Once you've completed that mini quest, you want to go and speak to Quartermaster Gully. He takes you to Waiko, the Ark's main hub, you could say, and the main social space. Then make your way to this spot, begin your woodcutting journey of chopping bamboo. You're going to want to collect around 35 bundles of bamboo, and it's going to feel like you're going to be in this part of the game quite a lot at the beginning of the Ark, and maybe later on as well, because I haven't reached that point yet. So you're going to want to collect 35 bundles. It will take 5 bamboos to make 1 bundle. Once you've got 35 bundles, you'll be using 10 of these for the bank at the beginning, and then you'll be using 25 for the first main mini quest that you're going to be doing later on. So you want to go and speak to Zuka, the bamboo merchant. This is one of the main NPCs that you're going to be speaking to, especially at the beginning, and you'll be speaking to Zuka to exchange your bundles of bamboo into chimes, and this is the Ark currency. You're then going to want to go and speak to Bonnie, and under the unlock screen you're going to want to buy the Waiko bank, and that's going to become really useful throughout your time here within the Ark and within Waiko. By the way, if you do right click Bonnie and you click ports, eventually when you have enough supplies you'll actually be able to purchase trade goods if needed. You're then going to want to go and speak to Rosie and buy 5 supplies. Once you've bought some supplies from Rosie, you're then going to want to speak to Bonnie again and start the first mini quest called Flag Fall. This is where you're going to gather driftwood from the Uncharted Isles for Bonnie so she can repair her loom, and then she'll allow you to claim islands with a flag, so she's going to make a flag for you. In the future, you'll want to claim an island that has a bountiful supply of resources, preferably an island which has golden bamboo on it as well. And if you come across a 5 supply island, a short junket with golden bamboo at the beginning of this Ark journey, it's advised to actually stay there and chop it all down. It'll take around 30 to 40 minutes, but it's definitely worth it, as it only takes 2 of these to make a bundle compared to 5 normal ones. 96 fletching is required though to make golden bamboo into bundles. After you've spoken to Bonnie, go to the Quartermaster and select Uncharted Isles, the top right hand corner. Then click Short Junket. This is where those supplies come into use. When you get to your island, pick up all the resources that you can find, ignoring the NPCs for now. Your aim here is to find 5 driftwood. And so not all of your driftwood will be on one island. It's very rare that that will happen at the beginning, especially on a short junket. So you may have to do a couple of trips here and buy a few different supplies from Rosie, and then re-charter your journey to the Uncharted Isles. I found 2 on my first island, I think, and then I rechartered a short junket to another island where I struck gold, to be honest, and ended up with a total of 7 driftwood across 2 islands, across 2 trips. I then made my way back to Bonnie, handed her the driftwood, mini quest complete. You'll get a flag to claim an island, which will cost chimes in the future if you need a new one. And the good thing about this mini quest is that it gives you a huge amount of chimes, about 500 as a reward, which will help you in future mini quests. The aim, if you're going to go for comp, is to complete all the mini quests first, as you'll end up with most of the supplies that you need to get your comp back and to get the future unlockables as well amongst Waiko. And you'll just have to do a few extra things after all of those mini quests, and most of those will be AFK, I've heard. Again, not up to that point yet. After this, there are 3 more mini quests to complete. My plan is to upload a video soon going through what I did to complete all of the completionist cape requirements for this update. So that's how you get started on the Ark, and that's what I did to get started with this update. I'm now just going to move on with this video to the pros and I'd say the negatives with this update, in my personal opinion, and some feedback that I've received and the general feeling that I get from the community, from the different people I've spoken to, and from watching multiple live streams and getting some feedback through that as well. So as a whole, guys, again, I've only really delved into this content for around, I would say, 3 hours max, and a lot of that's been kind of AFK, especially at the beginning where the first 30-40 minutes was just chopping bamboo, and I have a feeling that a lot of the content is like that. I'm going to move on to the AFK sort of argument around this update as well. But first, let's just move on to the aesthetics of this place. I mean, if you just take some time, you stick the game audio on, I mean, you can get really immersed into this content, and it just really does look beautiful. They've done an amazing job with the graphics, and, you know, it's a very chill environment, a chill area. It's a brand new social space, and it's AFK, very AFK for those who like that sort of thing. But on that AFK note, is it too AFK? Is it not engaging enough? Is it more of a tick box exercise for some? And is it social enough? I feel a large part of the skilling community do like to skill with others. Unless it's things like Hunter, where it's like, you know, just get off my Hunter spot, you know, I don't want you here because I want the XP. And that actually makes sense with some of the Uncharted Islands, and it depends on what your goal is to do here. Because I will be probably testing out the experience rates later on down the line, because this is a hunting update. For example, there are turtles to hunt, there's certain classes of those which you can hunt. I think there's ones called Ayla turtles or something, and you know, you wouldn't want anyone else on your island because they are your NPCs, they are your turtles to hunt. And you know what, that's kind of easy to counter because you can just close off your island, for example, and just make it solo. But yeah, in terms of like the social aspect, there was a huge potential here with this update to make it more social, have an island that you could invite your friends to, and you could skill together. I think a general consensus from a lot of people is, when can we invite people? Can we invite people? Before it even came out, there was a huge demand for it on live streams, just constant people spamming like, can we invite people? Is it going to be like our player-owned houses? And as we can tell, that really wasn't the goal of Jayex here with this update. But was it what the players wanted? Did they want it to be more social? For example, on Waiko, where you're woodcutting that bamboo, you know, loads of people are there woodcutting the bamboo, you're doing it together, you're chilling out, having a chat, maybe on Discord, TeamSpeak, whatever, just in public speak, you know, there's a lot of people socializing in that way in Waiko. And personally, you know, I'm just trying to get into tune here with the skilling community. I'm a PVMer, I don't usually do stuff like this. It's just new content, I'm delving into it, and, you know, if you are a skiller out there and you're watching my videos, let me know your opinions on this. Do you like to socially skill, or are you more of a solo skiller? But either way, there was an opportunity there to, you know, discover an amazing island and then be able to share those amazing resources with a couple of friends and have a limit on that island. Now, there are balancing implications with that. And you know, they would be like, how many resources are you going to have? The exact same resources on an island that allows access to, you know, a couple more people, a couple of your friends. Then you'd have to share those resources amongst 3 people, and then it would be detrimental to you personally in the long run. And so would you get 3 times more supplies? You know, how would it balance? And instead of that, they've just gone for a solo approach, which is, to be honest, much easier to balance because there's only one person to think about, one player to think about. And also it means maybe you can just go and catch a ride on someone else's island and not really do much work and let them explore for ages to find an amazing one, and then just go and leech off their supplies. You know, that's not a friend's things to do. Or it's like, you know, someone amazing who plays the game longer could invite the friend and help him out, but you could even get leeching involved and all of that. And would that be a good space? I don't know, probably not. You'd end up with parts of the community renting out their islands for the resources, and you know, that maybe is exaggerating a little bit, but I don't know, maybe that was a potential, especially if the market wasn't closed either. There would also be some sort of negative effect around that as well. And, you know, they probably took all that into consideration. But, you know, the feedback from watching live streams, there's a huge demand for just being able to invite your friends, you know, from the social skillers out there, just wanting to skill with other people. And Jayex have confirmed, I mean, on those live streams, they said they were going to look into it. That is no promise of any actual output or result from this demand from the community, but potentially it's something they'll look into due to the demand. But yeah, essentially on Waiko, you get that social skilling culture and feeling, and then you end up having to go off to your own Uncharted island, which you found, and then just be there all alone. Now, let's just touch on that point again around the closed economy. Do we want player interaction, or would this allow players to monopolize the Ark economy? That's a question I'm going to put forward to you guys. At the moment, it's all closed off. There's no player interaction between resources and things like that, which people have gathered. Would it be interesting to have the Ark's own economy where you could actually trade amongst each other, like the Grand Exchange, but just within the Ark's resources? But other than that, guys, that's my first impressions of the Ark. Overall, a beautiful looking place, probably very chill for a lot of skillers out there. It is a high level skilling update, and I'll be touching on more of the skilling parts of it in future videos once I have a go at the XP rates and see what the methods are like over there. And I've got to admit, when you're just on an island solo, yes, there's some negative comments which have been made in this video around, you know, a lack of social skilling when you're on an Uncharted island. But when you look and you just chill out on it and you're just there chopping some bamboo with the in-game audio on, you do get a weird sense of immersion. Thank you guys for watching and listening. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe for future content. There's a lot of people who probably aren't actually subbed to my channel who watch my videos, so it would be incredible to subscribe so you can get that notification when I upload a future vid. Thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you in the next one.